Jae-ho Kim stood at his kitchen window, coffee cup in hand, watching the moving truck below. Someone was moving into the empty apartment next door. He took a sip of his coffee and wondered what his new neighbor would be like. "Please be quiet. Please be clean," he whispered to himself. His last neighbor had played loud music all night and left trash in the hallway. Jae-ho was 28 years old and worked as a computer programmer for a big tech company in Seoul. He liked his quiet life in the high-rise apartment building. He had lived here for 3 years now. The building had a mix of humans, and since first contact 5 years ago, a few aliens too. The sound of boxes bumping against his wall made him jump. His new neighbor was here. Jae-ho finished his coffee, washed the cup, and dried his hands. He ran his fingers through his black hair and checked his reflection in the microwave door. He wasn't sure why he cared how he looked. It was just polite to say hello to a new neighbor. When he opened his door, he saw a woman struggling with a large box outside the next apartment. "Need help?" Jae-ho asked. The woman turned around, and Jae-ho almost gasped. She wasn't human. Her skin was pale blue with faint purple patterns that seemed to move and glow. Her eyes were large and silver, with no visible pupils. Her hair was white with streaks of light purple. Despite these differences, her face and body looked mostly human. "That would be nice. Thank you," she said in perfect Korean. Her voice had a musical quality to it. Jae-ho took the box from her hands. It was surprisingly light for its size. "I'm Mara," she said with a smile that showed teeth that were a bit too white and straight. "I just moved from the embassy." "I'm Jae-ho Kim," he replied, trying not to stare. "I live next door." "The Lyran embassy," she added, seeing his confusion. "I'm from the Lyran system." "Oh," Jae-ho said, understanding now. "You're part of the exchange program." Nara nodded. "Yes, I've been on Earth for 1 year at the embassy. Now I want to live among humans and learn more about your daily life." Jae-ho carried the box into her apartment. The layout was identical to his, but it was empty except for a few strange-looking pieces of furniture. One looked like a chair made of curved glass that somehow floated above the floor. "I don't have much yet," Nara said, following his gaze. "Most of my things are still coming." "What do you do?" Jae-ho asked, placing the box where she pointed. "I'm a xenobiologist," she said. "I study Earth's plants and animals and send reports back home. I work mostly from here now." The purple patterns on her skin glowed a bit brighter as she spoke about her work. Jae-ho found himself fascinated. He had seen aliens on the news and occasionally on the street, but he had never talked to one before. "And you?" Nara asked. "What do you do?" "I write code. Computer programs," he explained. "Nothing as interesting as your job." Nara's eyes widened. "But that is interesting. Lyrans have a deep respect for those who create with logic and imagination. Programming is both." Jae-ho felt his face warm at the compliment. A small device on Nara's wrist made a chiming sound. She looked at it and sighed. "I'm sorry, but I have a video call with my research team soon." "Of course," Jae-ho said, moving toward the door. "Let me know if you need anything. Seoul can be confusing at first." "I will," Nara said with another bright smile. As he reached the door, she added, "Maybe you could show me around sometime. I've only seen tourist places so far." "Sure," Jae-ho said, surprised at how much he liked the idea. "That would be nice." As he walked back to his apartment, Jae-ho felt a strange mix of excitement and unease. His new neighbor was an alien, a very friendly, interesting alien who wanted him to show her around. His quiet life had just become much less quiet, and somehow he didn't mind at all. Over the next 2 weeks, Jae-ho found himself spending more and more time with Nara. Their first outing was to a local market. Jae-ho watched with amusement as Nara examined every fruit and vegetable with intense interest. "This kimchi is fascinating," Nara said, her skin glowing a bright purple as she tasted the spicy cabbage. "The bacteria that help ferment it are similar to ones we use on Lyra, but these create such different flavors. Jaiho enjoyed seeing his city through Nera's eyes. Everything normal to him was new and exciting to her. One evening, Jaiho invited Nera to dinner at his apartment. He cooked a simple meal of bulgogi and rice. "This is delicious," Nera said, carefully using the metal chopsticks. Her fingers had extra joints that made them more flexible than human hands. "On Lyra, we mostly eat things that grow underwater." "Like fish?" Jaiho asked. "Similar, but not exactly," Nera explained. "Our oceans have plants that are as smart as some animals. They can move and even communicate in simple ways." Jaiho found it hard to imagine talking plants, but nodded politely. After dinner, they sat on Jaiho's small balcony overlooking the city lights. "Your moon is so big," Nera said, looking up at the night sky. "Lyra has 3 moons, but they're all small. We call them the sisters." "What else is different about Lyra?" Jaiho asked. Nera's skin rippled with blue patterns. "Our days are longer. Our gravity is lighter. But people are people, no matter what planet they're from. We have families, jobs, friends, just like humans." "And what about your job?" Jaiho asked. "What exactly do you study?" "I look at how Earth's animals and plants live together," Nera said. "Lyrans are known across the galaxy for our understanding of biology. Other species come to us for help with medical problems and environmental issues." Jaiho nodded, impressed. "So you're like a space doctor?" Nera laughed, a sound like small bells. "Not exactly, but we do help heal planets and species." The next day, Jaiho met his childhood friend Subin for lunch near his office. "You've been spending a lot of time with your alien neighbor," Subin said as they ate noodles. "Her name is Nera," Jaiho corrected. "And yes, I'm helping her learn about Earth." Subin frowned. "Just be careful. We don't know much about these aliens yet. What if she has some weird disease? Or what if she's studying you for some experiment?" "It's not like that," Jaiho said, feeling defensive. "Lyrans have been open about sharing their knowledge with us. They're peaceful." "I'm just saying be careful," Subin insisted. "Aliens are still aliens. They're not human." Jaiho changed the subject, but Subin's words stayed with him. That weekend, Nera invited Jaiho to her apartment. It looked completely different now. Strange plants grew in glowing pots. A hologram of what must be the Lyran solar system floated in one corner. "This is for you," Nera said, handing Jaiho a small crystal that glowed with a gentle blue light. "It's a communication stone. If you need help, hold it and think of me. I'll feel it." "Thank you," Jaiho said, touched by the gift. "But how does it work?" "It responds to electrical patterns in your brain," Nera explained. "All Lyran technology works with biology, not against it. We don't build machines that harm living things." Jaiho carefully put the crystal in his pocket. Despite Subin's warnings, he felt safe with Nera. She was different, yes, but in good ways. As he left her apartment that night, Jaiho realized he had learned more about the universe in 2 weeks with Nera than in his entire life before, and he was looking forward to learning even more. What he didn't know was that very soon, their simple cultural exchange would become much more complicated. Jaiho woke to strange noises from next door. It sounded like furniture being moved around. He checked his phone. It was 5:30 a.m. on Saturday. "What is she doing so early?" he mumbled, rubbing his eyes. After a quick shower, Jaiho made coffee and tried to ignore the sounds, but his curiosity won. He decided to check on Nera. He knocked on her door. No answer. He knocked again, louder. The door opened just a crack. Nera peeked out. Her skin was glowing much brighter than usual, with waves of deep purple moving across her face. "Jaiho, I'm sorry. This is not a good time," she said quickly. "Is everything okay?" "I heard noises." Yes. I'm just rearranging some things." Her voice sounded higher than normal. Jaiho noticed something behind her. The apartment walls seemed covered in colorful fabrics and strange, shiny objects. "Are you sure you're okay?" he asked. Nara sighed and opened the door wider. "Come in, but just for a minute." Jaiho stepped inside and stopped in surprise. The apartment looked completely different. All the furniture was pushed to the walls. In the center of the living room was a nest-like structure made of pillows, blankets, and shimmering materials he'd never seen before. Crystal-like objects hung from the ceiling, catching light and throwing rainbow patterns on the walls. "What is all this?" Jaiho asked. Nara's skin flashed with bright purple patterns. Was she, blushing? "This is difficult to explain," she said. "It's a private matter for Lyrans." "Are you sick?" Jaiho was concerned now. "No, not sick." Nara touched one of the crystals, and it hummed softly. "I'm entering my species mating season." Jaiho felt his own face grow warm. "Oh, it happens once every 3 Earth years," Nara explained. "Our bodies change. We create nesting spaces. It's instinct." "But you're alone here," Jaiho said, then immediately regretted it. "I mean, yes, I have no mate," Nara said. "But the changes happen anyway. I'll be fine. It will pass in about 2 Earth weeks." Jaiho nodded, unsure what to say. "During this time," Nara continued, "my body produces certain chemicals, pheromones. They help Lyrans find compatible mates, but they shouldn't affect humans." "Should I stay away?" Jaiho asked. "It's not dangerous," Nara said, "but I might act differently, more emotional, more intense. I might want to be alone sometimes." "I understand," Jaiho said, though he wasn't sure he did. "Just let me know if you need anything." Nara's skin pulsed with a warm glow. "Thank you, Jaiho. You're a good friend." Over the next few days, Jaiho didn't see much of Nara. He heard strange music from her apartment sometimes, unlike anything he'd heard before. Once, he smelled an odd, sweet scent in the hallway outside her door. On Wednesday morning, Jaiho woke up feeling strange. His head felt light, and colors seemed brighter than usual. His coffee tasted better than ever. On his way to work, the noises of the city didn't bother him as they usually did. At his desk, Jaiho stared at his computer screen. The code he was working on suddenly made perfect sense. He could see exactly how to fix the problem that had stumped him for days. His fingers flew over the keyboard, writing line after line without stopping. "Feeling inspired today?" his coworker asked. "I guess so," Jaiho replied, not looking away from the screen. That night, Jaiho had vivid dreams of strange planets with purple oceans and floating cities. He saw stars he'd never seen before and heard music that made his heart race. When he woke up, he realized something was happening to him. And somehow, he knew it had to do with Nara's mating season. Jaiho's strange symptoms got worse over the next few days. Food tasted amazing. Music sounded better than ever. And at work, he solved problems faster than anyone on his team. "Have you been taking some kind of smart pills?" his boss asked after Jaiho fixed a major software bug in just 1 hour. The bug had been giving the whole team trouble for weeks. "No, sir. I just see things differently now," Jaiho said. On Friday afternoon, Jaiho was in a meeting when the room started to spin. His skin felt hot. The voices around him sounded far away. Then everything went black. He woke up in a white room. A hospital. Subin sat next to his bed. "What happened?" Jaiho asked, his mouth dry. "You passed out during your meeting," Subin said. "Your boss called me. You had a fever of 40 degrees. Jaiho tried to sit up, but the room spun again. "The doctor will be here soon," Subin said. "He's a specialist in alien stuff." Before Jaiho could ask what she meant, the door opened. A tall man in a white coat walked in. "Hello, Mr. Kim. I'm Dr. Dae-sung," he said. "How are you feeling?" "Dizzy, but better than before," Jaiho said. Dr. Daesung checked Jaiho's eyes with a small light. Your pupils are dilated, and your brain scans show unusual activity. He looked at his tablet. Your coworker said you've been acting differently lately. Very focused, very creative. Is that right? Jaiho nodded. And do you live near any non-humans? The doctor asked. Jaiho glanced at Subin, who looked worried. My neighbor is Lyran. Her name is Nera. Dr. Daesung nodded as if this explained everything. And has she mentioned anything about biological changes recently? Jaiho felt his face get warm. She said she's in her mating season. Subin gasped. I knew it. That alien is poisoning you. Not poisoning, Dr. Daesung corrected, but definitely affecting him. He turned to Jaiho. What you're experiencing is very rare. Lyran mating pheromones don't usually affect humans, but in some cases, there can be a reaction. Is it dangerous? Jaiho asked. That's the interesting part, Dr. Daesung said, checking his tablet again. Your brain activity shows enhanced function. Your problem-solving abilities, creativity, and sensory perception are all heightened. So it's good? Jaiho asked, confused. It's unprecedented, the doctor said. Lyran pheromones evolved to help them find compatible mates by enhancing mental connection. In their species, it creates a kind of biological link between partners. But no human has ever responded this strongly before. Jaiho thought about his vivid dreams of alien planets. Had he been seeing Nera's homeworld? We should report this to the authorities, Subin said firmly. She can't just change people with her alien stuff. I don't think she knew this would happen, Jaiho said, defending Nera. She told me humans shouldn't be affected. Dr. Daesung nodded. She's right. This is extremely unusual. I'd like to run more tests, Mr. Kim. And I'd like to speak with your neighbor, with your permission. Am I going to be okay? Jaiho asked. Your fever is already going down, the doctor said. But these mental changes, I don't know if they're temporary or permanent. This is new territory for human medicine. Jaiho closed his eyes. The thought of losing these new abilities scared him. Everything made so much sense now. Code that once seemed complex now looked simple. Problems that once took days to solve now took minutes. I need to talk to Nera, Jaiho said, trying to get up again. Tomorrow, Dr. Daesung said, gently pushing him back down. You need rest tonight. I'll call the Lyran embassy and consult with their medical team. As the doctor left, Subin took Jaiho's hand. I'm worried about you, she said. Don't be, Jaiho replied. Something amazing is happening. I can feel it. Jaiho was allowed to go home the next day. The doctors could find nothing wrong with him besides his high brain activity and slightly faster heartbeat. As soon as he got back to his apartment building, he went straight to Nera's door. When she opened it, her eyes widened. Jaiho, I heard you were sick. Are you okay? The purple patterns on her skin pulsed with worry. Can I come in? Jaiho asked. We need to talk. Inside, Nera's nest-like structure had grown larger. It now had small, glowing objects woven into it. The sweet smell in the air was stronger. Your pheromones are affecting me, Jaiho said directly. The doctor says it's very unusual. Nera's skin flashed with bright patterns. That's not possible. Humans don't have the receptors for Lyran pheromones. She paused. What effects are you experiencing? Everything is clearer, brighter. I can think faster, solve problems better. Jaiho touched one of the crystals hanging from her ceiling. And I've been dreaming of a planet with purple oceans and cities that float in the air. Nera gasped. You've been seeing Lyra. But that would mean. She stepped back, her eyes wide. This is unheard of. No other species has ever responded to our mating pheromones this way. Is it dangerous? Jaiho asked. No, Nera said after thinking for a moment. Our pheromones enhance mental connection. They help Lyran mates form a deeper bond during the mating season. If they're affecting you, they're just opening your mind somehow. I want to see what I can do with this, Jaiho said. It feels like a gift. Nera looked worried. Be careful, Jaiho. This is new territory. On Monday, Jaiho went back to work with a new energy. He sat at his computer and looked at the big project his team had been struggling with for months. It was a complex system designed to predict traffic patterns in Seoul, but it kept crashing with too much data. Now, as Jaiho looked at the code, he could see exactly what was wrong. It was like seeing a clear path through a forest that had seemed too dense before. His fingers moved quickly over the keyboard, writing new lines of code that flowed perfectly. His coworkers stopped to watch him work. No one spoke. By lunchtime, Jaiho had rewritten the main system. By the end of the day, he had fixed all the bugs that had plagued the project since it started. This is incredible, said Director Han, Jaiho's boss, as he reviewed the code. How did you do this? I just saw the solution, Jaiho said simply. Director Han looked at him with surprise. In one day, you've done what our whole team couldn't do in 6 months. He put his hand on Jaiho's shoulder. Starting tomorrow, you're leading your own project team, with a big raise. When Jaiho got home that night, he was too excited to sleep. He wrote more code, designed new systems, and solved puzzles online that were supposed to be impossible. His mind felt like it was on fire with ideas. The next morning, Subin came to his apartment. She looked worried. The doctor called me, she said. He says the Lyran embassy is interested in your case. They want to study you. That makes sense, Jaiho said, not concerned. This is new for them too. Subin frowned. Don't you see? You're changing, Jaiho. You're not yourself anymore. I'm more myself than ever, Jaiho argued. I can finally use my full potential. But for how long? And at what cost? Subin asked. What if you lose your humanity? Jaiho looked at his computer screen, where complex code scrolled by. Maybe humanity is ready for an upgrade, he said quietly. Subin left without another word. Jaiho felt bad about their argument, but he couldn't stop now. Something amazing was happening to him, and he wanted to see where it would lead. What he didn't know was that others beyond Earth were beginning to take notice of his transformation. 1 week later, Jaiho's life had changed completely. His new project team at work was building a system that Director Han said would be worth billions. Jaiho worked day and night, his mind racing with ideas that seemed to come from somewhere beyond Earth. Nera's mating season was at its peak. The glow from her skin could be seen under her door at night. The sweet smell in the hallway was stronger than ever. Jaiho found that being near her apartment made his mind even clearer and his ideas even better. On Friday evening, Jaiho was typing code when someone knocked on his door. He expected it to be Subin, who still called and texted every day to check on him. But when he opened the door, he saw 3 strange beings. 2 were clearly not human. They had greenish-gray skin and large, dark eyes. They wore simple white suits. The third looked human but had an odd stillness about him. Jaiho Kim, the human-looking one, said, I am Tev, representative of the Galactic Council. These are my associates, Merle and Zik. May we come in? Jaiho stepped back, surprised. He had heard of the Galactic Council on the news. It was the group that governed relations between different alien species. Why are you here? Jaiho asked as they entered his apartment. We are here about your situation with the Lyran female, Tev said, looking around the apartment with interest. Nara, what about her? We have been informed that you are experiencing unusual effects from her mating pheromones, Tev said. This is a matter of galactic security. Jaiho frowned. I don't see how my private business concerns galactic security. The 2 alien beings, Merle and Zik, exchanged looks. One of them took out a small device and waved it around Jaiho's head. Remarkable, it said in a clicking voice. The neural activity is beyond anything we've seen in humans before. Mr. Kim, Tev said formally, the Lyran human compatibility you're displaying is unprecedented and potentially dangerous. No species should advance too quickly. It upsets the balance. Advance? Jeho asked. I'm just writing better code. For now, Tev said. But our scans show your brain is still changing. And if other humans have the same response to Lyran pheromones. He didn't finish the sentence. One of the aliens spoke in a language Jeho couldn't understand. Tev nodded. We must insist that you come with us for study, Tev said. And the Lyran female must return to her homeworld immediately. What? No. Jeho stepped back. You can't make either of us go anywhere. We have agreements with Earth governments, Tev said calmly. They understand the importance of maintaining galactic order. Suddenly, Jeho's door opened again. Nera stood there, her skin glowing bright purple with anger. Tev of the Galactic Council, she said, her voice harder than Jeho had ever heard it. You have no authority to enter private homes or remove citizens without proper process. Tev turned to her. This is a special case. As you know, Scientist Nera, your own government has been informed. My government won't support this, Nera said. She moved to stand beside Jeho. And Earth's leaders won't either, once they understand what's really happening. And what is that? Tev asked. The Council has been holding back emerging species for centuries, Nera said. Humans included. You fear what they might become if allowed to reach their full potential. Jeho looked at Nera in surprise. Is this true? The Council maintains balance, Tev said stiffly. Some species need guidance. Control, you mean? Nera said. One of the aliens made an angry noise and reached for something in its suit. Enough, Tev said. Mr. Kim, we will return tomorrow with proper authorization. Please be ready to come with us. He looked at Nera. And you should prepare to leave Earth. After they left, Jeho turned to Nera. What just happened? Politics, Nera said bitterly. Galactic politics. And we're caught in the middle of it. Jeho sat down, his mind racing even faster than before. What do we do? Nera's eyes gleamed. We fight back. And with your enhanced mind and my knowledge of the Council, we might just have a chance. Jeho and Nera worked through the night. They sat at Jeho's desk, surrounded by computers and strange Lyran devices Nera had brought from her apartment. The Council's main computer system controls all their communications, Nera explained. If we can access it, we can find proof of what they've been doing. Jeho nodded, his fingers flying over the keyboard. His enhanced mind could now understand Lyran technology in ways no human ever had before. There's something else you should know, Nera said, her skin pulsing with nervous patterns. My mating season will end in 3 days. When it does, the pheromones will stop. Jeho paused his typing. Will I lose these abilities when that happens? I don't know, Nera admitted. This has never happened before. Jeho looked at his hands. Then we have 3 days to change the galaxy. By morning, they had a plan. Jeho had written a program that could break into the Council's secure network. Nara had contacted trusted friends in the Lyran government who opposed the Council's control. We need help here on Earth too, Jeho said. Someone who knows people in power. What about Subin? Nera suggested. You said she works for a news agency. Jeho hesitated. She doesn't trust aliens, but she does trust me. He called Subin and asked her to come over. When she arrived, her eyes widened at the sight of all the technology. What is all this? She asked. We need your help, Jeho said. He explained everything. The Council's visit, their plan to separate him from Nera, and the evidence suggesting the Council was holding back developing species. Subin looked skeptical. This sounds crazy, Jeho. It's true, he insisted, and I can prove it if you help us reach someone in the government. Someone who can act quickly. My boss knows the Minister of Science, Subin said slowly. But what exactly are you planning to do? Show the truth to everyone, Jai-ho said simply. That afternoon, Subin returned with news. The minister will meet with you tonight. You have 10 minutes to convince him. Meanwhile, Jai-ho's program had broken through the council's security. He was reading through thousands of secret files, his enhanced mind sorting and understanding faster than any normal human could. Look at this, he said, pointing to his screen. Nara leaned closer. This is a report about Earth from 50 years ago, she said, before first contact was allowed. It says humans show dangerous potential for rapid advancement and recommends controlled introduction to galactic society with technological limitations. Jai-ho read. They've been deciding what technology we can have, what we can learn. As they dug deeper, they found more evidence. The council had been doing this to many species, not just humans. They controlled which technologies were shared, which species could work together, and how quickly any civilization could advance. They're afraid, Nara said, afraid of what younger species might become if given full freedom. When the Minister of Science arrived that evening, Jai-ho was ready. He showed the evidence, explained what the council planned to do, and demonstrated his enhanced abilities by solving complex equations the minister brought to test him. This is beyond anything I imagined, the minister said finally. But what can we do? Earth is just one planet against the entire council. We don't have to fight alone, Jai-ho said. There are members of the council who disagree with these policies, and other species who have been held back like humans. We have allies, Nara added, but we need Earth's leaders to take a stand. The minister stood up. I'll arrange an emergency meeting with the president tonight. This changes everything about our place in the galaxy. As the minister left, Tev and the other council representatives appeared in the hallway. I see you've made your choice, Tev said coldly. This is very disappointing. No, Jai-ho replied. This is just the beginning.